What's good? What's good? It's your boy B Neil. Welcome back to Bryce Reacts. We're here with another one. NFR had a clip go viral recently talking about guys that they don't believe is in the top 100 of rappers of all time. And it brought up a lot of interesting debates. And for me, I could agree with some of the names they brought to the list just because it's so early in their career or they didn't never had a chance to make a name for themselves, whether they passed away too early or something like that. But for the most part, I do think a lot of these narratives are built off like kind of gatekeeping and hating the newer generation when I do think they have carved out a lane for themselves. And when you start talking about catalog and things like that, and it's not just about lyricism. Even with that being said, I don't think the gaps being like with the lyricism conversation, I don't think the gaps that far away. But when it comes to just overall music and having a fan base that enjoys it, for them like to have, let's say, some type of longevity past 4 or 5 years, I think that's the like criteria you start looking for with like top 100 guys because like once you get past 50, like I feel like every guy's run not gonna be more than 5 years. So five would probably be the average, 3 to 5 would probably be the average for the guys that's like in the 50s. And then when you look at like catalogs as far as like impact, let's just say like or how good their catalog may be, like I would say they have at least one potentially one classic album, possibly two, and then they have a lot of other really good moments, like maybe two or three other really good moments. So with that being said, I think that's usually somewhere between a like what I just described. I look at that as like somewhere between a B to C plus tier rapper could end up being in the top 100 if you ask me, just based on they might not be the greatest rapper of all time, but like they could have made some moments for themselves. They could have made an album that hit or had another, two or three good moments. I don't think it takes a lot to get in this like top 100 if you ask me. But with that being said, that's just something I would like want to get into before we get into these names that they mentioned. But let's get
These rappers are not in the top 100. This means that there's at least 100 rappers I think are better than them. Lil Uzi Vert, great rapper, was pivotal to the SoundCloud era.
You could put him in top 100.
He's not in
bro.
the top 100, bro. I could easily name 100 better.
Bro, think about his impact on the genre. He is a good rapper himself, bro.
The catalog is not there. He's not a great lyricist. He's not top 100.
But he's not a shit lyricist either. Like he's a good enough lyricist to compete on most songs with any rapper. Like that's a professional level rapper. Like he get on most songs. Like when I've heard Lil Uzi in some of his best pockets, his best songs, Lil Uzi could rap his ass off. So it's like I don't know what like criteria they be looking for with the lyricism shit, but he's not like at worst he's a B tier like rapper, like as far as lyricism. But when you come to creating vibes, creating hooks, creating like great moments, some of the best lyricists like are C plus at that shit. When Uzi is like B plus, maybe A minus at that shit. So it's like when you come to balance it, then when you talk about the longevity of Lil Uzi's career, at this point it's 2026. He's almost 8 years in the game, if I'm not mistaken. I think he came around 2018, maybe a little earlier than that. That's almost 8 years, which is doubling the average that I said I think most like rappers, especially like I don't think rappers in the 2000s had that long of careers. Like Nelly, I don't think his like prime lasted that long, or some of these other guys. This is guys out there. I don't think they prime just necessarily lasted that long. Where you looking at them like 10 plus years, like that was a rare thing. Like the elite guys, Eminem, Jay-Z, Drake, Kanye, like it's not many guys outside of them that was just doing that was maintaining relevancy as well. So with that being said, yeah, now I think Uzi deserves to be in the top 100. Maybe like somewhere in the like 60 through 75 range.
Next up, Playboy Cardi.
I think it's too early.
Like what he's done, he's changed the game.
So this whole piece,
and going back to Lil Uzi as well, he definitely helped change the game. Playboy Cardi, I'm not gonna give him a top 100 like artist yet or rapper yet, but I could see him sneaking in there later in his career as he keep making hits and stuff like that. But I think it's a little too early to say it for him, just because I do think his rapping ability is closer to like a C minus, but he does really make like really good vibes that could be like a B plus, like maybe he's A minus or something like that. But I say somewhere between B minus B plus. But when you put that together, I know people like a whole lot of red. Is that him? No, that's somebody else. I'm not the biggest fan of his, but music too. I know people are high on those. So for his fan base, I'm pretty sure he could probably squeeze in that top 100. But I wouldn't be mad if he's somewhere around like the 90 or something like that. Like I'm trying to think of like niggas like I know they put Jadakiss in there or like I'm trying to think of guys like. Would Lloyd Banks get into the top 100? I'm trying to think of niggas that would make it into the like top 100 in reality. With like Absol getting there, like I'm wondering. So if those type of names could make it, I feel like a Playboy Cardi could squeeze in there somewhere.
This is like let's just shit on like a bunch of like new age SoundCloud.
No, I'm not shitting on anybody. I'm saying they're not top 100, but it takes a lot.
And the only reason I say those names just because I feel like those guys struggle with making great vibes and great hooks and shit like that consistently. But obviously, they was phenomenal rappers. Vice versa, Cardi could drop a whole lot of like vibes and like good hooks. He's damn near he's really a great producer. I would love to see him produce on somebody's shit. But when it comes to rapping, he's closer to like that C- tier. So it's like they kind of reverse, and it's like depending on what you value more, like. Most people gonna value in rap, gonna value the Jadakisses and those type of guys, Absols and those type of guys. But in reality, hip hop likes both just as much. It's just they'll rather see both of those sides be more balanced, if you ask me.
Next up, Juice WRLD. Much respect for everything he's done. I don't think he's top 100. He didn't really have too much time to show his full potential.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but it also comes as hate because it's like he clearly had the trajectory to be top 100. If we arguing it's literally based on because he died too early, like which is kind of unfair to even bring him into that conversation. It's almost like you're just trying to throw names in there.
Next up, XXX Tentacion, same thing. People put him in the top 20 list, top 30 list. We hadn't seen enough.
Yeah, I'm with his co-host. It's like you're throwing names in there. It's like they clearly had the trajectory. If they would have kept rapping, like they would have made it.
NBA YoungBoy. Not in the top 100. People say he's top 5, top 10 all time, bro. Makes me lose my mind.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of like people like Juvenile. I think Juvenile would make it. I think Webby, Boosie. I think niggas like I'm just trying to think of niggas that would make a top 100. That could possibly make 100 like top 100 list. And then I think about NBA YoungBoy. I'm like he could make it. Like a Busta Rhymes would make it. I'm thinking of like. I'm just trying to think of names to throw out there that's not obviously like top 30 necessarily or anything like that, but it's like they'll fill out that bottom portion of it. But I don't know. I think it's a no-brainer that he's in it. He's probably closer to a top 60 rapper of all time when you talk about impact, longevity. Like at this point, YoungBoy's been around once again almost 8+ years. Like maybe he's not doing the numbers as far as like first week or like going crazy like that, but his streaming numbers are ridiculous. When Apple Music shit just came out, I think he's the third or fourth. No, I think he's the fourth most streamed rapper of the Apple Music streaming era. So it's like, I don't know what you want to expect from a nigga. Like, I get it. You want a certain level of lyrics or you want a certain level of understanding. Cause I like maybe when you talk about with YoungBoy, but for me, I don't listen to YoungBoy that much, but you can't be oblivious to the impact that he has. Like, we have to be honest with that. Like, we have to be, bro. Like, you can't talk about hip hop post 2018 without NBA YoungBoy not being in there, and that's a long time, like in music. Like, we being honest, like he's been relevant for a long ass time, bro. Like, that's not just some fluke ass shit.
Don Toliver, I like what he's doing as of late, but still really in the beginning of his career.
And he's like, I don't know if I don't consider him just a rapper either. He's like somewhere in the mix, like a Bryson Tiller to me.
And hasn't done enough to prove top 100.
You know what? This is the thing, though. I think that most people that would disagree with you on these takes, bro,
haven't really listened to 90s hip hop and shit. That's the biggest thing.
I guess so, bro. But like, it's a completely different sound. Like, bro, they're
even with the 90s hip hop shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. If we was to build out 100, like top 100, and if I was being fair, I feel like 60% of the top 100 list would come from rappers that's post 2000. Like when you go from the 90s, 90s, 80s, and 70s, where hip hop was started, You're gonna get LL Cool J, you can get Ice Cube, you can get Biggie, you can get Tupac, you can get Run DMC as a group. I name what? That's 4 or 5 people. You could get Snoop Dogg in there. You can get Ice Cube in there. You can get Rakim, Nate Dogg, possibly, yeah, Nate Dogg for sure. I'm trying to think of some other names that's like guaranteed, certified, not even a question. Jay-Z, DMX, Eminem, they was all in the 90s as well, but they also spit into the 2000s. But you probably could name maybe 5 other guys that it might be getting debatable. But let's just say from the 70s to the 90s, I think you might get 20 guys, maybe 25 guys. And then the rest would be all 2000s plus. And then if we want to like really hash it home, I feel like there'll be another like 35 like 30, maybe not even even if I say 35 rappers from 2000 to 2010, and then the rest fills it out, like or somewhere in between that ratio, that's a lot of fucking people that's left to name, bro. And if we're naming 35 from 2000 to 2010, some people gonna be saying there's some reaches in there for sure, which is gonna leave room for niggas in the 2000s or 2010 to get on there. If I said that right. So it's like, yeah, it's plenty of room for people like NBA YoungBoy, Travis Scott, like I don't know. He ain't say Travis Scott, but I don't know. I'm just thinking of people that I know gets a lot of hate from like that, the OG like kind of fans of hip hop and shit like that.
Impact, like these albums that were released underneath these careers, bro.
I have more names for you though. Lil Baby, not top 100.
That's ridiculous. No, that's fucking ridiculous right there, bro. Not having Little Baby. That honestly, from the features, My Turn, what's the shit with him and Lil Durk, him and Lil Gunna? I mean, Lil Gunna, him and Gunna, like, nah, bro. Like pretty much Atlanta second wave of being great, because Atlanta already had a wave of being great with T.I., Outkast, like Luda, right? Yeah, I think Luda. It was a bunch of guys from there. Then you get the new reinvented like Atlanta when it comes to the trap and how trap like rap took over hip hop for the last 12 to 15 years. You can't talk about hip hop without Lil Baby, bro. And he had really great moments, bro. Really, really, really great moments. And you can't really say he started to fall off to like the last. I don't even think he fell off last year. Wham was an amazing project to me. And I like the leak. So I don't know, bro. You can't say he fell off. And rapping ability, Little Baby can fucking rap. He can rap he's like an A- tier rapper at worst to me. And when he's peaking, when he's doing his best ability, he can rap with a nigga that's A+ S tier. Like, well, you could say Drake wasn't rapping his best on Once and Knees or whatnot. Nigga said he out rap Drake. And I think I've heard him out rap plenty. Like, I've heard him rap well enough to be like, nah, that's top tier rapping. Then when you talk about actually making good ass songs, he's like B+ at that as well. So yeah, no, he along with longevity, like I said, along with being a second wave of Atlanta running shit, like nah, you can't. You gotta be kidding me.
21 Savage,
That's crazy.
not top
Bro,
100.
Like
I'm putting 21 top 100.
anyone put these rappers in their top 100, be like, okay, that's fine.
No
like,
way.
Yeah, I was kind of hesitant on 21, but now that I'm thinking about it, bro, like 21's had a good enough career that he could argue a top 100. It'd be bottom 75. He'd be one of the last guys to get named, but he's had enough moments. He's had enough hits. He's had a long enough career where I'm thinking guys that's in the 2000 that you could compete with. Like, it's guys in the 90s like you could compete with. Like, his career, or what's the guy that died? Eazy-E. Or his career, or versus like, I'm trying to think of some other guys that was like, I don't know. I don't want to spend a long time here, but he definitely has an argument, bro.
20. I said 21. Polo G and Gunna, the last two names on my list, bro.
I don't know about Polo G, but you gotta be shitting me with Gunna. Gunna got 4 or 5 really, really great albums to me. From DS2 Post, and then even his work before that's really, really good that I've been getting into lately. So Yeah, with Gunna, that's not even a conversation. I think Gunna is gonna have the argument of being a top 50 rapper of all time, if anything. He's gonna have that future element where it's like you look at his sales, he don't have the greatest sales, but when you talk about how much his fans gonna keep replaying his shit the next 10, 15 years and how he's gonna I think from listening to Gunna, he actually has uh he's actually in touch with what good music sound like. He know how to actually make really good music. He's done it 4 albums in a row to me, as far as having hits on all of those songs, having deep records, having vibey records. Like he's up there with the like future to me when it comes to being able to like he's a sleeper guy when you talk about songwriter. He's a sleeper guy when you talk about how good he really is at actually making music. And even from his fan base, like people really fuck with Gunna. It's just not as loud as the Drake. It's not as loud as Kendrick. It's not as loud as J. Cole fan base or anything like that. But them niggas are there supporting him and listening to his music on the fucking daily. So having Gunna on that list to me is utterly insane. And I think Gunna has a trajectory of being a top 30 rapper of all time, because just like how I think Future snuck in there just with the consistency and just having fun music for years after year after year, that's going to be Gunna's path to the top 30. And I think he's already easily be a top 50 rapper of all time. Like you can't, it's not many rappers that got a better catalog than him.
If you go through the 2000s, the 90s, even the 2010s, I could riff off so many rappers better than this. I can't believe you're trying to defend it for
Bro,
Uzi.
you're naming
There's no way.
iconic rappers here, dude. Like, it's not like me trying to say Ice JJ Fish is a top
Bro,
100
an
rapper of
iconic
all
rapper
time.
doesn't mean one of the best rappers in the game.
Yeah,
bro.
but I just like, bro, like you're
Sorry.
just cherry picking.
Yeah, and when he said if you call them iconic, that's most likely like how did they become iconic? Like that's what I be hating with these conversations. It's the same thing that Jay Roebuck brought up with the conversation of he's the biggest artist of in this era. It's like, how do you think this nigga becomes that? It's not because niggas just like their personality, bro. It's their fucking music. Like, how do you think niggas that are rappers become icons? Yeah, they have personality. Yeah, they have an image. Yeah, they have branding. But brother, if the music is shit, you will never get to icon level. So even to call them icons and then to say it's better rappers, it's like, well, to me, you got to pick a side because you brought up catalog with Lil Uzi. So if we're not just talking about pure lyricism alone, like them niggas you name have a debate outside of people that died too early and just didn't have the longevity, the trajectory with their music and fan base and wave. Like, they would have been bigger than most of the artists that we'd have had in the 2000s. I mean, not in the 2000s, in the 90s for sure. Like, but with that being said, man, like I said, it's been a lot of hate. Damn, I didn't realize the screens was fucked up this whole time, but it is what it is. I made the video now. But with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. It's been a lot of hate on the new generation, and I'm not here for it because bro, good music is good music. Just because it may hit a little different than what you're accustomed to, like you gotta learn to adapt because music gonna keep changing, just like fashion, just like entertainment and many other things. So either stay with it or get left. That's essentially how this world works. And unless it's just complete trash and garbage, which a lot of these guys are not producing. Like Lil Baby don't produce trash, Gunna don't produce trash, like a lot of these young guys don't. Travis Scott don't produce trash. Like it's a lot of elements of musicality there that you can enjoy. But with that being said, I said either stay with it or get left. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. We're on the road to 500, man. Peace.